Omotola had always been known as the beautiful one in her neighborhood in Ibadan. Fair-skinned, soft-spoken, with a figure that used to turn heads even when she walked with her wrapper tied loosely. Before marriage, people said she walked like a queen who knew the world belonged to her. When she married Connor, her university sweetheart, everyone said, "Oh, this one is a perfect match. Fine boy and fine girl." And for a while, it truly felt perfect. After Omotola gave birth to their first child, she gained a little weight, but her husband didn't mind then. But when she had her second baby, something changed. Her hormones shifted, she was always tired, she ate irregularly, and slowly, her once slim figure softened into a fuller shape. Her hips widened, her arms became bigger, and her tummy refused to go down no matter how many times she tied hot water to it. She didn't even have time for herself. Between breastfeeding, cooking, cleaning, and taking care of 2 little children, Connor noticed the changes, and instead of supporting her, he changed for the worse. At first, it started small. "Oh, babe, you don't want to try and reduce more. These clothes no they fit you again." But soon, it became cruel. One afternoon, when she wore a gown to church, he looked at her and hissed, "Omotola, see how you look. You're like somebody's auntie. I don't even know what you turned yourself into." The words pierced deeper than a knife. She tried to smile, but her heart broke a little that day. Connor began spending more time outside. Late nights. Secret calls. Hidden messages. Then one day, while she was breastfeeding the baby, she saw a message flash on his phone. "Baby, don't mind that fat woman at home. I know what I want." Her hand shook. Tears dropped onto her baby's soft hair. The pain was unbearable. Connor didn't even bother hiding his disrespect anymore. He would dress up to go out and say, "I'm not like you that stays home getting fatter. Some of us still need to look good." He insulted her in front of his friends. He ignored her in public. He compared her to his side chick, slim, flashy, younger. Omotola cried for nights, quietly so the children wouldn't hear. The worst day came when Connor drove her and the kids to a supermarket. Inside the store, she saw him looking at another woman. A lady dressed in tight jeans, long braids, and confidence. Omotola noticed him smiling sheepishly, biting his lip, acting like a young boy in love. She pretended not to see, but her heart was breaking. As they stepped out, some people who knew Connor whispered loudly, "Is that not his wife? Oh. She done fat oh. No wonder." She wanted the ground to open and swallow her. Her husband looked at them, then looked at her, and instead of defending her, he said, "I've told her to reduce now. She no dey here." Omotola felt humiliation rise inside her like boiling water. One hot afternoon, while she was returning from the market with sweat dripping down her face, she heard a familiar voice behind her. "Tola. Is this you?" She turned and saw Amina, her old friend from secondary school. Amina was glowing, light makeup, neat hair, a confident smile. They hugged tightly. But Amina noticed something. The sadness. The tiredness. The brokenness behind Omotola's eyes. They sat at a nearby shop to talk. When Amina asked how marriage was going, Omotola tried to smile but ended up crying harder than she'd cried in years. Amina held her hand and said softly, "Tola, you're not finished. You just forgot yourself because life pushed you around. But you will rise again." That day, Amina told her about remote work she was doing from home, earning real money without leaving the house. She offered to train Omotola for free. "You'll work from home, earn your own money, and rebuild your life. Don't worry. I've got you." For the first time in a long time, Omotola felt a spark of hope. She woke up early every day, studied, practiced, and slowly learned how to work online. She started earning small amounts at first, then more as she improved. With her own money, she bought new clothes. She started taking evening walks. She reduced screen time, ate better, and cared for herself. Her skin started glowing again. Her smile returned. Her confidence grew like a fresh plant after rainfall. Within 6 months, she was earning more than Connor. She lost weight naturally, not to please him, but because she was caring for herself again. One Sunday, she decided to look good for herself. She wore a simple but elegant gown, did light makeup, tied her hair neatly, and walked into church with her kids. People who had whispered before stared again, but this time in admiration. Connor saw her and his mouth hung open. His friends who once mocked her now said, "Oh, Connor, your wife is glowing oh." But she didn't dress for him. She didn't glow for him. She didn't rise to impress him. She rose because she found herself again. 6 months after Omotola rebuilt herself, a new chapter opened, one she never saw coming. Omotola's confidence had become like a fresh breeze after heavy rain. She woke up early, prayed, prepared breakfast for her children, and began her remote work with a calmness she had not felt in years. Her income grew steadily. What started as small money became consistent cash flow. Soon she was earning enough to pay part of the house bills, send money to her mother, buy new clothes for herself and her children, start saving for her own place. She was no longer begging Connor for money. She was no longer afraid. But as she rose, her husband began to crumble. When Connor's side chick realized he had no more money to spend freely, she stopped picking his calls. She blocked him on social media. She stopped replying to his messages. Connor became restless, angry, frustrated. The same man who once insulted Omotola now started complaining. "Tola, this house is too quiet. At least talk to me." But she kept her distance. She had learned the hard way that love without respect is prison. Soon, Connor's job faced issues. His company downsized staff. His salary reduced. His allowance cut. He came home earlier every day, there was nowhere else for him to go. Before, neighbors whispered behind Omotola's back, "See as she fat. No wonder her husband is cheating." But now, they whispered another tune entirely. "Oh, Omotola is glowing. She has changed oh. See beauty. She is even making money from home." Women in the street came to ask her how she did it. Some wanted to learn the remote skill she was doing. Some wanted her advice about marriage. She became the woman other women admired. And Connor felt it. It pinched him like hot pepper, but he couldn't. One evening, after putting the children to bed, Omotola received a call from an unknown number. "Tola, is this you?" She recognized the voice instantly. It was Chief Adeyemi, her father's old business friend, a wealthy man with influence across Ibadan. "Tola," he continued, "I've been hearing wonderful things about you from Amina. She said you're good with administrative remote work." Her heart raced. She nodded even though he couldn't see her. "I want to offer you something," he said. "A part-time contract. Work from home. Decent pay. And it might even grow into a permanent role." Omotola felt her breath leave her body. This was big. This was life-changing. She accepted it humbly. Within 3 months of working with Chief Adeyemi, everything about her life changed. She remodeled the children's room. She bought a new phone. She replaced her old clothes. She began to plan her own business. Her skin glowed. Her eyes sparkled. She started a Saturday walking club with other mothers. She smiled again, genuinely. Connor watched all this and panicked. He regretted every insult. One Saturday morning, he stopped her at the door as she was heading out for her walk. "Tola, can we talk?" She looked at him, calm and confident. "Yes, Connor." His eyes watered, something she had never seen before. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. "For everything. I didn't mean to hurt you. I was foolish. You're the best thing in my life and I messed up." Omotola stared at him. She remembered. The insults. The humiliation in public. The message calling her, that fat woman.
The side chick. the nights she cried silently. Part of her wanted to forgive. But another part of her had grown too much to shrink again. She inhaled. "Colonel, I'm glad you realize it now. But I won't be the woman you break and fix at your convenience. I have changed." He swallowed hard. "Will you give me a second chance?" he asked. She didn't answer. She simply walked past him, her head held high. 2 weeks later, Chief Adeyemi called again. "Tola," he said, "I have something to tell you. There is a new startup expanding in Lagos. They want a remote operations manager. Your name came highly recommended by Amina. The salary is very good." Omotola felt her knees weaken. "Sir, why me?" "Because you rose from the ashes," he said. "And women like you deserve platforms, not pity." That night, Omotola sat in her room thinking. For years, she lived under shadows. She lived trying to please a man who never valued her. But now, she had become a woman with her own light. A woman with choices. A woman with value. A woman reborn. When Kunal saw the job offer letter, he panicked again. "Tola, you want to leave me?" he asked, his voice shaking. She looked at him gently but firmly. "I am not leaving you, Kunal. You left me a long time ago." His mouth opened, but nothing came out. Omotola walked away, not loudly, not angrily, but with the quiet strength of a woman who had finally found herself. The next morning, she stood at the mirror wearing a new gown she bought with her own money. She tied her hair in a neat bun, applied light lipstick, and smiled slowly. She looked beautiful. She looked powerful. She looked like the woman she always wanted to be. Her kids ran into the room and hugged her legs. "Mummy, you look pretty," they shouted. She carried them both and kissed their cheeks. That day, she stepped into her new job with confidence. A new chapter. A new life. A new identity. Omotola, the woman who rebuilt herself, became a symbol of strength in her community. And the world, finally, began to recognize the woman they once overlooked. The end.